Auschwitz II Birkenau, concentration and termination camp. Auschwitz II Birkenau stands as a harrowing testament to one of humanity's darkest chapters. Established in 1941 near the Polish town of Auschwitz, this sprawling complex became the epicenter of the Nazi regime's genocidal campaign during World War II. Over its years of operation, more than 1.1 million men, women, and children were systematically murdered within its confines, the vast majority being Jews, alongside Poles, Romani people, Soviet POWs, and others deemed undesirable by the Nazi ideology. Initially conceived as an extension of the original Auschwitz camp, Birkenau's construction began in October 1941. Its primary purpose was twofold: to alleviate overcrowding in Auschwitz, Birkenau, and to serve as a central hub for the final solution, the Nazi plan to annihilate the Jewish population. The camp sprawled over 140 hectares and was divided into multiple sections, each surrounded by electrified barbed wire fences and watchtowers, creating a nightmarish landscape of oppression. Arrival and selection process. For countless victims, the journey to Birkenau began with deportation from ghettos or other concentration camps across Europe. Packed into overcrowded cattle cars without food, water, or sanitation, prisoners endured days-long journeys under horrific conditions. Upon arrival at the camp's railway platform, infamously known as the Judenrampe, they faced the brutal selection process. SS officers, including the notorious Dr. Joseph Mengele, would swiftly assess the new arrivals. Those deemed fit for labor were sent into the camp, while the elderly, pregnant women, children, and those appearing weak or ill were directed towards the gas chambers under the guise of taking showers. This deceitful practice masked the grim reality awaiting them: the mechanized killings. Birkenau was engineered for mass murder. The camp housed 4 large crematoria complexes, Crema 2, the 3, A4 and V, each containing gas chambers and cremation ovens. Victims were led into underground chambers, told to undress for disinfection, and then exposed to Zyklon B gas, resulting in death within minutes. Afterwards, Sonderkommando units, prisoners forced to assist in the extermination process, would extract valuables, remove gold teeth, and transport bodies to the crematoria. The sheer scale of these operations meant that thousands could be killed and cremated daily. Life and death in the camp. For those selected for forced labor, existence in Birkenau was a relentless struggle against starvation, disease, and brutality. Prisoners were crammed into overcrowded barracks, often with 3 to 4 individuals sharing a single wooden bunk. Sanitary conditions were abysmal, leading to rampant outbreaks of typhus and other diseases. Daily routines involved grueling labor, inadequate food rations, and constant exposure to the whims of sadistic guards. The average life expectancy for a laborer in the camp was mere months. The tragedy of the Romani people. Among the many targeted groups, the Romani community faced unique horrors in Birkenau. In December 1942, Heinrich Himmler ordered the deportation of all Romani to concentration camps, leading to the establishment of a segregated gypsy family camp within Birkenau. Families were initially kept together, a departure from the usual practice of separating prisoners. However, this semblance of unity did little to mitigate the suffering. Malnutrition, disease, and medical experiments were rampant. On the night of August 2, 1944, the SS liquidated the gypsy camp, sending approximately 4,300 men, women, and children to the gas chambers in a single night. The Women's Orchestra of Auschwitz. In a grim paradox, Birkenau housed a women's orchestra composed of prisoners. Led by Alma Rosé, a renowned violinist and niece of Gustav Mahler, the orchestra performed for SS officers and played during forced labor marches. While membership offered slight reprieves from the camp's brutality, it also placed the musicians in morally complex positions as they navigated survival through their art amidst the surrounding horrors. Auschwitz II Birkenau was more than just a camp. It was a place where millions of hopes, dreams, and lives were stolen. Behind the barbed wire and watchtowers, children never got to grow up, mothers never saw their babies again, and families were torn apart forever. People did not just die in Birkenau. They were erased, forgotten by the world outside, while the world inside was full of pain, hunger, fear, and death. The camp was designed for death, built by hands that were forced to destroy others. The trains kept arriving, full of innocent people who were told lies, that they were going to work or to start new lives. Instead, they were led into gas chambers. Some were murdered on their first day. Others were slowly broken by cold disease, starvation, and brutal work. Birkenau was not just a place of murder, it was a place where the human soul was tested to its limit, and too often crushed. Yet among the ashes there were sparks of humanity. Today, those memories cry out to us, not in loud words but in silence, in the empty rooms, in the children's shoes that remain behind glass in museums, in the photographs of faces long gone. Now the ruins of Birkenau remain as a warning. The silence of its broken chimneys speaks louder than any book. It says, "Never forget what happened here. Never let it happen again." Today, people from all over the world walk through the gates of Birkenau. Auschwitz II Birkenau is not just history, it is a lesson, a wound, a reminder of what hate can do and what silence allows.